Chapter 1: The Bride Who Replaced Her Face. A true ghost story from India. In 2016, a grand wedding was held in a palace hotel in Jaipur. The groom, Rajiv, came from a wealthy family. The bride, Priya, was elegant, soft-spoken, and everything seemed perfect until the wedding night. After the reception ended, Rajiv went to their private suite. The bride was waiting for him in full red wedding attire, veil covering her face. She didn't speak, but simply stared at him. He laughed nervously and said, "Don't be shy now. We're married." He lifted the veil and froze. The face beneath it wasn't Priya's. It was someone else. Her eyes were pitch black, her smile was wrong, and her skin looked burned, cracked like dry earth. Before he could move, she whispered, "This face suits me better, don't you think?" He screamed. Security found him unconscious, the suite torn apart. But here's where it gets worse. The real Priya was found locked inside a storage room downstairs, unconscious, tied, and in her undergarments. She said she remembered getting ready, and then everything went black. The woman in the bridal room was never found. CCTV showed no one entering or leaving. Locals now whisper, a churl, a jealous female ghost, had taken her place. Just for one night to feel loved, to wear the veil, and to steal a life she never had. Chapter 2: The Burning Bride. A true ghost story from India. In the sacred city of Varanasi, along the banks of the Ganges River, bodies are cremated day and night. Smoke never stops rising. Locals believe the fire purifies souls. But not all souls ascend. There's a whispered legend about the burning bride, a spirit of a young woman who died on her wedding night, burned alive by her in-laws over dowry disputes. They cremated her in secret by the river, but her soul never left. She is said to appear to men who walk alone after midnight, especially near the burning ghats. In 2019, a boatman named Ravi was returning home late. His route passed the main cremation ground. In the midnight, he heard soft anklet bells behind him. He turned. A woman in a charred wedding sari stood there, smiling. Her face was half burned, one eye dripped black. Her hair was smoking dots. She whispered, "Will you take me across the river? My husband is waiting." Frozen, Ravi dropped his torch. In the darkness, she moved closer. Suddenly, he felt intense heat, as if the air itself was on fire. The next morning, Ravi was found unconscious by the riverbank, with burn marks on his hands and ashes in his hair. He left Varanasi that week. Now, every boatman warns newcomers. If you hear wedding bells after midnight, run, don't turn around. The burning bride is still looking for someone to finish the ceremony. Chapter 3: The Ghost Behind the Mirror. In 2014, a girl at a boarding school in Jaipur began screaming during her nightly bathroom visit. She claimed she saw a ghost in the mirror, not her own reflection, not someone behind her, but a woman inside the mirror staring back at her. She had long, tangled hair, blood dripping from her mouth, and her eyes were wide, completely white. The school thought it was a panic attack, until 3 more girls saw the same thing, always in the midnight, always in the same mirror. One of them fainted. Another girl tried to scratch her own face, saying, "She told me I have to look like her." The dorm warden decided to cover the mirror with a cloth. But that night, the cloth was found torn on the floor, and written in blood-red letters on the glass was a message. "Don't hide me. I'm already inside." Terrified, the principal called a local exorcist. The exorcist examined the mirror and said, "This is no illusion. There's a shirail inside, a ghost." He explained that a female ghost, called a shirail, had been trapped in the mirror long ago. She died in the building when it was once a hospital in the 1940s. And now she tries to pull others in to join her. The mirror was removed the next day. But late at night, Girls still report hearing a woman laughing in the bathroom. No one uses that sink anymore because they believe the ghost is still looking for someone to trade faces with. Chapter 4. The Hand Behind the Child. In 2018, a 5-year-old boy named Arav went missing from a neighborhood playground in Hyderabad. He had been playing near the slide with his mother nearby. There were other kids around. It was just past 7 p.m. His mother looked away for 10 seconds. When she looked back, he was gone. At first, they thought he had run to the swings, but they couldn't find him. Police were called. They checked the CCTV footage from the corner of the park. The clip showed Arav walking alone toward the end of the playground. Then, at frame 0 hours, 7 minutes, and 13 seconds, something appeared behind him. A hand long, grayed out, not human. It rose slowly behind his back, reaching out even though no one was there. And then the screen glitched. In the next frame, Arav was gone. His mother insisted she had seen something too, a shadow standing behind her son, even though no one else reported it. She described it as tall, thin, and smiling, but its face had no eyes. No one has seen Arav since. Now, locals refuse to bring their children there after sunset, because others have seen the same thing, a gray hand, sometimes crawling across the playhouse walls. They believe it's the spirit of a child snatcher ghost, known in whispers as Hathwala Boot, the Handed Ghost. Chapter 5. The No-Foot Bride. Bikankador railway station was built in the 1960s to connect a remote village in West Bengal. But just a few years later, the entire station was shut down. Why? Because railway staff and passengers began seeing a ghostly woman in a red sari roaming the tracks at night. She looked like a bride. They said she would appear just after the last train passed, floating silently along the platform, without feet. In 1967, a station master who worked night duty claimed he saw her waving at him near the signal post. He followed, then disappeared. They found his body the next morning on the tracks. His face was frozen in terror. Within weeks, other staff refused to work the night shift. Trains stopped stopping at Bikankador. For over 40 years, the station remained closed. Locals whispered, she was a bride who died on her wedding night in a train accident. Now her soul waits every night, hoping someone will take her home. In 2009, the station reopened after government pressure. But even today, some passengers say they've seen a woman in red standing alone at the far end of the platform, long after the trains have gone. And if you follow her, you'll never leave the station again. Chapter 6. The Red Ghost in the Girls' Toilet. In 2019, a public girls' school in Lucknow shut down an entire floor of its old building after multiple sightings of a female ghost. It started with students complaining that the second-floor girls' toilet felt too cold at night. Some said they heard someone crying softly in the last stall. Others saw red footprints leading in but not out. One night, a janitor named Ramesh was doing his usual mop-up. Around 10:40 p.m., he heard the toilet flush. Even though the building was empty, he walked toward the toilet. The light inside flickered. Then he saw it, a woman in a soaked red sari, crawling out of the last stall on all fours. Her hair dragged on the wet floor. She had no eyes, only deep black holes, and her mouth was stretched wide open, like it had been ripped apart. Ramesh screamed and fled. The next morning, CCTV footage showed this. At exactly 10:41 p.m., a shadow crawled across the girls' toilet wall, moving upside down against gravity. And then it looked at the camera. That part of the footage cut to static. Since then, the second-floor toilet has been locked. Students now use temporary toilets outside the building, but sometimes in the hallway nearby, people still find wet red footprints leading to the locked door. They call her Lal Bhutni, the Red Ghost Woman. Chapter 7. The Shadow Ghost of the Clinic. In a quiet corner of Nagpur stands a decaying building. It was once a private clinic abandoned after 3 patients died mysteriously in a single week. Locals say it is haunted, not by a spirit, but by a ghost made of shadow. They call it Chayabut, the shadow ghost. According to a former nurse, the ghost first appeared in 2005. It always came in the midnight, slipping under doors and crawling along the walls, not walking, but gliding. It looked like a person's shadow, but with no one casting it. And then it would stand next to your bed. One patient survived and described what he saw. It had no face, but I could hear it breathing. Then it leaned down and whispered into my ear, "Let me inside." He was found the next morning in shock, eyes wide open, fingernails torn from scratching the wall. After that, the clinic closed, but the building still stands. Some say the shadow ghost never left. Now it waits inside the cracked walls, only showing itself to those who dare to enter alone. One man who tried filming a video inside at night went missing. Police found his camera, but not him. The footage ended with this: a blurry shot of the clinic corridor, and in the distance, something black, human-shaped, crawling on the ceiling. Then static got locals now warn, the ghost isn't in the dark. It is the dark. Chapter 8. The Woman at the Bottom of the Stairs. In 2013, 3 children went missing from an old residential block in Chennai. The police found no signs of forced entry, but the security guard recalled one thing. Each of them disappeared after going to the stairwell, and always around 9:30 p.m. A week later, a neighbor's CCTV camera facing the stairwell captured something. A little boy entered the stairwell alone. Then, at the bottom of the stairs, he stopped. Someone was standing there, just out of frame. Then the boy slowly turned to face the camera. He smiled and walked down. The footage glitched. When it resumed, the stairwell was empty. But for a second, a woman's face appeared at the corner of the last step. Long black hair, white eyes, mouth wide open as if screaming silently. Police tried enhancing the video but claimed it was corrupted. Soon after, the landlord sealed the stairwell permanently. But late at night, some residents say they still hear small footsteps on the stairs, followed by a soft female whisper, "Come play with me." They believe the ghost is that of a mad woman who lived alone in the basement years ago. She died by suicide, but no one claimed her body. Now her ghost waits at the bottom of the stairs. Chapter 9. The Woman Beneath the Lake. Ladheshwar Lake is calm, wide, and eerily still. Locals say the water is cursed. For decades, people have gone missing near its shores, especially young men walking home alone at night. They all vanish without a sound. There is a legend. Years ago, a bride named Meena was pushed into the lake by her husband on their wedding night. He had married her only for a dowry. Her body was never found. But ever since, villagers say her spirit lives beneath the surface. They call her Yalki Dulhan, the Bride of the Water. Fishermen report seeing a woman standing on the lake, motionless, her sari flowing in the wind, though the water around her is still. Others say if you hear soft crying near the shore after midnight, don't go near the sound. In 2008, a police officer patrolling the lakeside vanished. His last message on radio: "There's someone in the water. A woman, she's smiling at me." They never found his body. Now, people avoid the lake after sunset. They say the spirit of Meena still waits under the water, her face pale, her arms reaching upward. And if you see your reflection in the lake smile back at you, it's not you, she's already behind you. Chapter 10. The Woman from the Banyan Tree. In a remote village near Rajasthan, there stood an ancient banyan tree next to a dried-up well. Villagers said it was cursed. They warned, Never walk past it after sunset. And if you hear a woman calling your name, don't answer. They believed a churl haunted the tree. She was said to be the ghost of a woman who died during childbirth, abandoned by her husband, buried in secret under the roots of the banyan tree. Since then, many strange things had happened. Goats would go missing. Children came home with scratches, and men who walked near the tree after dark were found unconscious, hair turned gray, faces twisted in fear. In 2012, a skeptical school teacher named Arjun moved to the village. He didn't believe the stories. One night, after a late dinner, he took a shortcut home right past the banyan tree. As he passed it, he heard a soft voice behind him, Arjun. He turned. No one. Then again, closer. Arjun, I'm cold. Will you walk with me? He turned on his flashlight. The batteries died instantly. Suddenly, he felt a cold breath on his neck. He ran, but as he reached his house, he saw her, a woman with long black hair, twisted feet, and burning red eyes standing on the roof of his house. She smiled. He blacked out. When he woke up, he was surrounded by villagers, a holy man chanting prayers. For the next 7 days, Arjun could not sleep. He said the woman whispered in his ear every night, crying. Eventually, his family had to leave the village for good. To this day, no one walks past the banyan tree after dark. They say the churl still waits, calling out names in the wind.